Hi guys, welcome back to the Boing Bookshelf. Today I'm going to do my review for Karen Marie Moning Feverseries. This one is, oh geez, let's see, book, what, 9? 9 or 10 of the Feverseries. This one, I will say, is probably my favorite book out of this whole series. Just mainly because, trying to be as spoiler free as possible, but Mac saves the day. Mac becomes, the biggest badass of them all. I freaking loved it. I devoured it in just a few days. I read this back in November, so I'm finally getting to this. But so it might take me a minute to try and keep my facts straight, especially since I've just started reading High Voltage. So. But anyways, so yeah, like I said, shit has hit the fan, hardcore. It's, oh my gosh, it was pretty much, or damn near almost action from the get-go. I freaking loved it. I feel like get like a totally different side of Baron's in this one. He is more passive, I want to say, than like any of the other ones. He's not as hostile, and like I kind of like that. I mean, and don't get me wrong, I do like Baron's being very volatile, but this one I feel like he kind of backed off a little bit on that and let Mac make her own decisions and basically just was behind her and had her back the entire time. He never tried to manipulate or drive her like he did in the first half of the series, and I really enjoyed that. I liked the shift that Danny was going through. Danny becoming more like how she was before her incident with the Silvers and everything, and I loved the little relationship that bloomed between her and Dancer. I loved it. I will say this book had me crying. The first time I read it, I didn't quite feel get to the feels as much as I did in this one. But this one, I mean, I cried because it's an incident that involved with Danny, and life has shit on her at every opportunity, and basically the universe took the biggest shit of all on her, and that was just absolutely heartbreaking, and I hated it. I know what it's doing, but I hated it. But I really did enjoy this book very much. Like I said, it's probably one of my favorite books out of this whole series was this one. So when the first time that I read it, I really thought this is the last book that was going to come out. I think High Voltage had already been announced by the time I picked this one up, because all my books are in paperback, so I have to wait for paperback to be released. But anyways, by the time I picked this up, I think High Voltage was already released, but I already knew that it was following Danny. But I felt like this was the end for Mac and Baron's. But so there did have a bit of a finality ring to it, but knowing what I know now, it's not the end. I will say the circumstances that involve Mac becoming the biggest badass ever, I feel like was given to us so that she could be on an even playing field with Baron's. So it kind of started setting up the way it was going to go with her pretty much from book 7, so from Burned on. There is a little twist around Baron's. We finally know who and what he is. I mean, within reason. We still don't really quite know where the 9 come from or anything like that. Hopefully we'll find that out eventually, but I'm not holding my breath on it. But I at first, the very first time I read that little plot twist with Barons, I was kind of sort of ecstatic, but didn't quite truly like it. Honestly felt like it came out of left field. And with this time around, I almost don't quite like it. I try not to give anything away. I don't quite agree with what Barons is. I liked him being what he appeared to be from book 1 all the way through till Feverborn. So that little ending was, yeah, it still came out of left field. You know, I didn't really quite like it or enjoy it all that much. So I mean, I don't know. It's really hard to explain. Just because I'm trying so desperately not to give it away in case anyone hasn't read Feversong yet. I mean, the book has been out for a while, but still, I hope that gets more explanation either in High Voltage or in the new book that's coming out. Was it a Kingdom of Shadow and Light? So hopefully, like I said, that gets answered. But I really don't know what to expect. Rereading it, like I said before, the foreshadowing has been pretty intense. Definitely some foreshadowing for certain things, like it kind of sort of hinted at in the middle of the book what Barons was, just from some of the things that he was saying or doing, or his responses to Mac. But overall, I liked it. It was really good. It's one of my favorite books, as I've said now 3 times already, out of this whole series. So I loved it. But yeah, no, like if y'all have read it, what were y'all's thinkings on Barons and what he ended up, what his identity really is, and how did y'all feel about it? Because yeah, man, I'm still kind of like like you could have just left him being what he was before. It would have been fine. But anyways, so. But yeah, I want to hear your thoughts on it. I want to hear your thoughts on Barons and what y'all feel about that issue. How did you like this book? How did you like how everything kind of sort of got resolved, but at the same time kind of didn't? You know, the issue with Danny, and what are your hopes for Danny if you haven't read High Voltage yet going into that? But yeah, so drop them in the comment section. Let me know. And we'll discuss, because man, this book. But anyways, that is Feversong by Karen Marie Moning. You can pick it up anywhere. Barnes & Noble. You can get it on Kindle. Libby might not have them, so if you have Libby and can't find it, request it at your local library, or you think you can do Audible. That's where I think my friend Amy is reading it from. But anyways, thank you for watching. Hopefully I hit everything. If you have any questions that I didn't get to or whatnot, anything I didn't get to, let me know in the comment section. But until then, until the next book I'm reading or done reading, that's it. And thank y'all for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see y'all next time. Bye.